of Ducati, Claudio Domenicali, joining us, as well as the Managing Director of Yamaha Motor Racing, Paolo Pavessia, and then your independent team. So we'll go in championship order in this case. We have Michele Massini, the team manager of BK8 Gresini Racing MotoGP. We have Paolo Nieto from Pertamina Enduro VR46 Racing Team. I think you're the longest name on the grid. Although Paolo Campianotti's team as well, the Prima Pramac Yamaha MotoGP team, does compete on that level. So Claudio, we will start with you as the representative of Ducati. So obviously it's been an absolutely incredible season for Ducati machinery so far, and with concessions, the window closing after Brno, you're rank A. We have a huge gap between you and then the others in our graph that we've been preparing. It must make you very proud to see what has been built from your factory over the past decade and the progress that you've made to now be the sort of benchmark of the sport at the moment.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, the results are great. We come from a history of very good performance. Sports are like this. You have cycles, and we are in a very positive one. We won the last 5 manufacturer world championship and the last 3 rider world championship. And actually, even this year, results are not too bad, let's put it this way. So we have very good riders, and we are keeping developing the bike. And actually, there is a good team of people, both in Bologna and actually working here. And I think we are taking the most out of our factory team and our, let's say, satellite team that work with us. So yes, we are very happy.
It has been incredible. I'm going to put you on the spot for one question, which is, of the other manufacturers, teams not necessarily, because I'm sure at the moment you'd have to say Gresini, who do you fear most in your position of dominance? Who do you think is making those gains and really sort of keeping Ducati close at the moment?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
Who do you fear the most as a rival? Who do you think is getting the closest? But of all your machines, not just maybe the factory team.
Yeah, I think that competition is getting closer and closer. Actually, I think also the system actually make possible for the team that are a bit more, let's say, lagging a little bit of performance to test more and to try more. And actually, the system is working, so you can feel that actually race by race, the gap is narrowing. But I would not pick up one especially. No, depending on the race, we have seen every one of our other competitors as a manufacturer that are coming close. So in the beginning of the year was Honda very close in some races, and then Yamaha did fantastic pole position, and then KTM and Aprilia, depending on the race, are very close as well. So I think in general, the championship is very good in terms of actually how close we are.
Absolutely, and of course Ducati has to vote in favour of the new concession system as well, so it speaks to great fair play on your part to have said that and give those as well to the other factories. So Yamaha, we'll move on to you. We've seen a key step, it seems, so far in 2025. When you look at the maths, sometimes last year in the latter half of the season, which obviously is part of the current concessions window as well, you were scoring sometimes 7–8%. Now you've 3 or 4 times more that this weekend. You've got the pole positions, as Claudio said, podium as well. What's your overview of the season? I'm sure it's a mixed one, but there are some good positives so far.
Yes, I think you already said there are mixed feelings. For sure, we are leveraging the maximum the opportunities which we have in terms of extra development. We are for sure already getting clear benefit from having a second factory team as the one led by Paolo. And then we have this mixed feeling of the potential we are expressing being higher of the result we are collecting. But this is racing at the end. What counts, it's what you do at the end of each of the races. But still, the performance are growing, and together with the performance, the expectations are growing.
And of course, the V4 has been a key theme for Yamaha. There were rumours, now you've officially confirmed it and spoken about it yourselves as well. Obviously, Ducati have really shown how that's become the engine for most of the others on the grid, or I think KTM's 3 degrees off maybe. But you guys have chosen to develop that huge amount of resources and investment now as well, before the regulation change. What's the thinking behind that? Is it a show of commitment that Yamaha really are that keen to take back that crown. You're the last to defeat Ducati in the Riders' Championship, after all, too.
Yeah, it's pretty clear that being the only one with a certain kind of configuration, we had to take a bold decision, which we took, and we have to move into this new engine configuration for sure for 2027. And knowing that for us, this is somehow a bit of an unknown world, no? The bike is changing, the balance of the bike are changing, so you need to learn things. And this is why we have decided to anticipate the effort and maybe to build one bike for 1 year, because we are still not sure that we will race in 26 with a new V4-based machine. Even if this is clearly the target, we need to start collecting new information and learn a new kind of configuration, look into 27, but already potentially starting from 26. And this is why we are doing what we are doing. It's an incredible, challenging, but also exciting moment. We try to do as much as we can on current bike to make it more competitive. And I think, as we said, we have already seen a clear performance increase. We are developing a bike for 26, and we are also in parallel working on the bike on 27. It's complex, it's exciting, but it's also needed if we want to be back where we want to be.
Thank you very much. So we'll go independent teams now. A question for you guys. As Claudio said as well, the level of competition is so close, not only between factories, although Ducati have the upper hand at the moment, obviously also between independent teams with the factory connections that you guys have now, the level of machinery and support you all get. When you look back over the past 5-10 years, what's made the biggest difference to independent teams being able to compete?
Yeah, thankful to the manufacturers. As you said, every year we are more and more close with the packaging of the bike. We can take out from the machine all the potential, and of course we still fighting and battle against the factory rider, the factory team, and cannot be more proud of that, because also us, we are more attractive also from the top riders, and be competitive, also create we can also reach some sponsor to growing up the project and thinking bigger.
Pablo, same question to you.
Yeah, for us it's really important, no? Because in the end we are fighting for the championship, we are fighting with the manufacturers, so that means that we can make something important, no? Like, for example, last year, Pramac make. So for us,
You've anticipated my next question.
So, but that's very, very important for us, no? Because in the end, that means that all the riders that they say that maybe they wanted to come also to us, no? And this is very important for the sport, no? I think we are coming closer and closer. I think in the futures we have to be like all manufacturer, and that's the main point, no? So like this for the championship and for everything should be much more better, and also for the teams, no?
So as Paolo said, you referred to Prima, Pramac, Yamaha, MotoGP. No, we'll ask you, Paolo, don't worry. You referred to it as your second factory team. So Paolo Campinotti, welcome. You are now the second Yamaha factory team. Obviously, they've got another independent team on the grid. We've already seen you have a lot of success there before as well with the independent team before. Paolo, you know more than anyone how competitive an independent team could be. You're still reigning team champions, and the reigning Riders champion was with your team last year. Now a completely new era. From your experience in the paddock and everything you've seen, what have you seen change to create this incredible level?
I think that every manufacturer now, they have realized that to have only one team, it's very difficult, and it's very difficult for the information, it's very difficult for the input to develop the bikes. So I think we have been, honestly, we had a fantastic experience with Ducati, because we have been always, I mean, the terminology independent, I mean, we have been always dependent in the sense that without Ducati we could not do anything, but I mean, in the end, we have been very much integrated, and we have been like a factory team, that we have the same specs of bike. We have, so the difficulty is to create a team that is able to compete from in the racing during the weekend, and to have a very good technician, very good atmosphere, and that be able to keep the rider always with the right tension in the good way, and that I think what we should do, because more and more the factory, that is the manufacturer more than the team, needs another allied, let's say like this, that should be in the grid with them just to fight for the championship. And the only way is to keep the team that is the other team is at the same level of competitiveness of the factory. So more and more we will see no more independent team, but an extension of the factory that will compete in the championship.
And compete, you definitely do. So Claudio, we'll go back to you for the next question. 2027, sorry, we've got the two microphone tango. 2027 new regulations. As I said, the concession system we have now had to be agreed between all manufacturers. Obviously, the new era of regulations as well is something that's not just one decision from one part, it's all the stakeholders together who have to agree that. As the clear leaders in these regulations, how are you looking ahead to that? Both in terms of on-track and the sporting, and also maybe the opportunity elsewhere as a company and a bike manufacturer?
Yeah, I think that the change in regulation is very big, and it will kind of be a very clear cut, because the bikes are somehow different, and in a way they are simpler motorcycle, less sophisticated, but there will be a big restart. So it's very important, the planning, but every one of us is doing his homework, you know. So for sure, for us will be a big challenge, because I think that in the current configuration, with the current aerodynamic system and especially the vehicle adjustment system, we develop a kind of a little leadership in a way, you know. We introduced this system into the championship, and for sure, once you remove that, everyone restarts from scratch. So it will be a challenge. And when you win a lot, it's somehow sometimes complicated, because people kind of get a little bit used to win. And so it's very important to keep the proper spirit of, you know, because if you want to keep being competitive, we have to be actually like you have never won. And so with this spirit, which is not easy, but Gigi and the team is doing a lot on that in preparation. So we are really willing to contribute, you know, to start this new era, 2027, with bikes that on paper will be even create a better sport and a better show, and I think that will be for the benefit of everyone.
Well, let's ask you guys, because Paolo, you're signed up, I think, in 2031 is your agreement with Yamaha, if I'm not wrong. So you guys, though, do you know who you'll be racing with in those new regulations? Can you give us any clues?
Honestly, I wish to continue our, I think, great story with Ducati. We have to take a seat and talk about the future. I think that...
I like how you're now looking at Claudio and you're saying it.
Yeah, looking deep in the eyes. Yeah. No, because honestly speaking, we are a really good and strong relationship. And I think that also is really important when we step into a new era to have a kind of constant point to solid points, so the relationship with them at the moment is really strong than ever. Also this year we still fighting for something big. We are still second in the championship with Alex, second in the team standings too, and I think that every year, every month, every GP will still growing up with also our engineers. So we will be crucial to step into this new regulation, and for us another big question marks will be the new tire supplier, because when we start from zero, we need to be able to be smart also with our engineer, together with the engineer from the manufacturer, so we will be a very challenging new era.
Pablo, would you agree with that? Are you also going to look deep into his eyes?
Yes, always. No, of course, I completely do agree that it's very important to continue with this project, because in the end, we construct something together that we can growing up, and it's really important that we continue with everything, no? Of course, it's coming this new area. It's very important, like Michele said, that it's coming the new tire suppliers. So that's one is going to be one of the main points. And I think it's really important that both teams, Ducati, Gresini, and us, work together to trying to make something important together, because we know that all the manufacturers are coming, but I know that we have something important to say. That's very important.
So in terms of the regulations in 2027, what do you think will be the biggest change? Do you think it will be tires? Do you think it will be...
I think it's one of the biggest points, you know, because in the end, more or less, we saw it in the past that sometimes we go into 1,800 with the engine, with everything, but in the end, the most important thing that makes the difference, from my personal opinion, is the tires. So I think it's very important to get the right information, to get to make the step exactly in the good way, because that one is very, very important, and then get the most information as possible. So that's the most important thing.
I saw a lot of nods to that when he said tyres. That was also a theme yesterday with the other factories. So also, of course, it's an exciting new chapter for the sport, not only with the regulations coming up, but also obviously with the sport's future now that everything is announced. So especially as we're already enjoying an era of growth, I think this year we've already had 4 events with record crowds. And we're already over 1.5 million spectators for the season, so we're going to break the record from last year. As a manufacturer in the paddock, you've got the microphone, Paolo, so we'll start with you. As well as a team and competitor, what makes it so valuable? We've seen a lot of interest from outside as well, looking to invest. What is it about it that's so valuable, and do you think that it will now really start to increase, and what do you see in the future?
For sure, it's a very interesting and unique moment because so many things are coming together. No? We were talking before about the technical revolution on the bikes, the new tire manufacturer, but also what is happening on the sport management with the Liberty Media acquisition of Dorna Shakes. Shares. This is really something can open new opportunities. We have seen interest from fans, which is already big, but I also feel there is a lot of more to explore and exploit from what we do. Maybe we're going to have even a nicer show, better fights, but there are also territories which hopefully the championship will go to discover. As a global manufacturer, especially, I think we see the passion in South America and the opportunities there. We see Southeast Asia, India, China. So I really think and I hope we can bring this show to a higher level, but also to a broader audience.
And Claudia, would you agree with that from the Ducati perspective? Of course, you're CEO of a brand, also a lifestyle brand almost, as well as the racing activity and the bike manufacturing. Does that excite you for Ducati in the future?
Yeah, it's very, very, very exciting moment, to be honest. We, especially as a manufacturer, we tend to say that we are into entertainment ourselves, you know, so we are not see ourselves as a bike manufacturer, but like more an entertainment company. So cannot be better, because really, I think that the sport today has been grown a lot thanks to what have been done together, you know, all together, we as a manufacturer, Dorna, and all the stakeholders in the past years have done, I think, a fantastic job to keep really the racing very close and the fan very engaged. So a lot have been done, but still a lot of potential is there. And some countries have been mentioned, but there are others like even more conventional, like US or UK. There is a lot of potential for MotoGP to really grow as a sport, to get into, let's say, a much bigger fan audience. In US, we have one race, and actually a lot can be done. We have not to do exactly what Formula One have done, but for sure, when we look at what is happening in Formula One in US in terms of fan base, the growing in the last years have been exceptional. So the potential even for actually for all the team, not just the manufacturer, but for all the team to really engage and to create a bigger fan base, if we work properly together, I think is fantastic.
Well, that's a perfect segue into a final question from me to Paolo. You're a unique Paolo Campinotti Pramac Yamaha, yes. Maybe we should have not put you with your independence team with this one, so you'd have a clearer signal. You're in a unique position as well, second factory team, there's factory support from Yamaha, also part of a company. How exciting is it for you and Pramac and your team to see this new chapter for the sport, and what do you expect from it?
As already they have said, here we have a fantastic opportunity in our sport, because we have a huge opportunity to grow, because the sport in itself is amazing, but we miss a little bit more the packaging, no? So I think that Liberty will be a great partner to develop, let's say, more what is the soft part of our sport. So the entertainment part, the packaging, exactly what I was trying to say, because it's what we miss. And I'm sure that the opportunity that they will give us to be present, to be seen in more geography or in more area with a different also approach, I think will be a fantastic benefit for the sport. We have seen what's happening in Formula One, that they have created more than the sport itself. They have created the entertainment part that was missing, and I'm sure they will do here that we have already, from my point of view, even a better, a more excited sport to see, no? So that in this case will be somehow easier for them.
Yeah, we call it the most exciting sport on earth, and hopefully no one here would disagree. But okay, thank you very much. That's all from me. Have we got any questions from the floor?
Yeah, hi, Adam Wheeler. Two questions. The first one for Paolo and for Claudio.
Which Paolo?
Paolo Pavesio, sorry. With BP, yeah. With Liberty coming in, can you guys describe how the teams might change next year and going forward? Will you have to invest more in marketing, communications? How do you see that side of the operation? Because technically you guys are obviously doing everything you can right now.
Honestly speaking, from this perspective, I think as a directly owned team and working with Pramac, I think what we do in terms of marketing, it's already pretty good. What I expect from Liberty and what I imagine is more a systematic approach. Today, more or less, everybody does his own job, as good as everybody can, I imagine. But a different level of, I don't want to call it governance, it's a different level of strategy to secure that we are all singing as a piece of one orchestra. Everybody is in own way, but coordinated together to exploit this fantastic show we put in place. This is what I can imagine.
Yeah, in my opinion, what could happen is that there is a more even behavior between the teams and a more clear focus also on having a resource which is dedicated to the fan base directly, and in really taking the riders to the level of heroes. They're already there, but even magnifying more in all the geography, and having, as I was saying, a more, let's say, balanced approach in terms of how we exploit the value, the marketing value of what the team are doing in a more even way between the teams. Some are doing a lot and some are doing less, and I think that with, if taken to the next level, a kind of controlling in terms of directing this effort of the team from Dorna with the support of Liberty Media, I think it's one way to go.
And Claudio, sorry, one more for you. Can you just explain your vision, how you see it, and the strategy for Moto E at the moment from Ducati's perspective?
Yeah, it's a bit more complicated because on the electrical world, it's a bit under, let's say, revision in terms of speed. And so we had a lot of investment into Moto E because we wanted to develop the technology and we wanted really to touch base with the reality. And so it was very important for us to see exactly what you can do and what you cannot do still with electrical bikes, high-performance electrical bikes. And this is the reason why we engaged so strongly in Moto E. We are currently in a bit more strategic phase now to redesign the future, which is not yet completely fixed. So it's a bit too early to talk about the future.
David Emmett, again for Claudio Domenicali and Paolo Pervesio. From a manufacturer's perspective, historically the technical regulations have always been fixed for 5 years, and if, for example, like Ducati, they've introduced new technologies, they've been allowed to develop that and throughout the entire period of the entire contract period. With the arrival of Liberty Media, do you think we could see a bit of a change in that, where the basic regulations are stuck are set for 5 years, but new technologies as they're introduced are evaluated over shorter periods? Because we see this in Formula One, where if technology is seen as being bad for the show, bad for the entertainment value, they step in and take it away at the end of the season.
Yeah, I think that we are all together with the idea of developing the sport as much as possible. I think we've done a great job with Dorna so far, and Dorna, I mean, is still there, of course, and so we want to continue to do it. I think that, of course, Liberty Media will have a say in how things are happening, but we generally, for sure, we as Ducati, as very strong support on everything that we can do in order to improve the sport in general. And so, as always, it's a matter of balance, you know, because you may have invested in a technology, and so it's a matter of also of sustainability. So I think it's very important that everything we do together, we look at the sustainability, so how much we can generate additional resource, how much are, if any additional costs we may incur. And I think that also for the sake of this project to grow this system, sustainability is a key word. I mean, which is, of course, sustainability when we talk about environment, yes, but also economical sustainability.
Yeah, I agree. To be honest, I think at the end, if you consider all the party involved in building the show, the one which are investing the most are the manufacturer. So a stable rules, it's a needed foundation to keep investing and to build the show. Of course, we have already in place within MSMA the possibility to fine-tune rules, but the 5-year platforms is at least, to me, I think, to Yamaha, a minimum condition to have a sustainability of the investment. And of course, we are all normally open, as I always try to say, we are colleagues when we together design rules, and we are competitors when we are on track. So we need to keep this spirit to secure that the sport wins, but also that what we need to invest is sustainable. And we have positive example, I believe, both in the way the new rules have been designed, but also in the way, for example, concession has been allowed to help manufacturers to catch up. So I really hope we will not enter in a too quick loop of change, because we also need to be very aware, yes, there are a lot of similarity potentially with Formula One as a sport, but the budgets that are available in cars and motorcycles are very different.
Okay, so that concludes the press conference. Thank you all very much for joining us. Best of luck this weekend and going ahead.
Thank you.